sailing around the world, owning a homestead surrounded by mountains and forests, canoeing 3 weeks down the Yukon River. What's on your bucket list? What's on your outdoor desire list? What is it that you want to do? In this session, we're going to talk about our bucket lists and how we go about taking what ends up on the list, the dream, the thing we want to do, and turning it into our reality faster than most people believe is possible. My name's Rob Yates and I've been working in the outdoors for over 30 years now. I've trained over 3,500 coaches, guides and leaders. But what's really maybe interesting to you is that I've done the trips and had the experiences that most people have on their bucket list, and I'd achieved them all by the age of 40. Now my bucket list has got slightly bigger and slightly more expensive, and my outdoor adventures that I want to achieve are things that are going to go on for a month, 6 months, years, or maybe even the rest of my life. But what is it that you want to achieve? I work with business owners and clients all over the world to help them achieve ridiculously large things that they've thought might be retirement or later in life. And we've all got these things, haven't we? Like if you stop for a minute and go, what's my one day? One day I'd like to travel to another country. One day I'd like to hike here. One day I'd like to canoe there. One day I'd like to live here. One day I'd like to drive my RV and go there, there and there. What is it for you? And if you were to stop for a second, I bet you could come up with a few things. Now, to achieve those things, we use a little system, or I use a little system, and it's a whole series of W's, and of course you've heard about them before. The first one though is, where do you want to go specifically, and what do you want to do when you get there specifically? Now, do could be sat down, look at the scenery for a month. Perfect. Do could be photography. Equally, do could be as much adrenaline as humanly possible. But where do you want to go? And what do you want to do? And why is this important to you? You see, for a long time, my bucket list thing of sailing around the world that I intend to start in the next 5 to 6 years. At one point in time, people thought that it was a penis extension thing. Pardon the pun. It was a look how much money I can earn and buy a fancy boat and have money not to work for a while. Check me out. But actually my why for doing it is different to that. My why is about having an adventure. My why is about having that quality time for 2 years with my wife and children. That's my why I'm doing it. And so why do you want to go and have the things that you want to have on your bucket list? Now, before I go much further, I'm going to offer you the opportunity to get more depth and more assistance than I can give you in this short video. So you'll find a link below here, and the link below here is for a free online coaching program that I'm personally going to run over a week or two in a few weeks' time. You can sign up beneath, and the dates are beneath there, and you can come and twice a day, every day for probably 8 days. I'm going to come to you and coach you along with other people on how you can go and achieve your bucket list adventure outdoor items, whatever they may be. It's completely free of charge. You just sign up below here. There's no sales pitch, there's no money, you don't have to enter credit card details. You just get some free support to achieving your outdoor dreams faster than you thought was possible. So now you've signed up below, you've worked out where you want to go, what you want to do, and importantly, why you want to do it. We've now got some what's to think about in our planning. What skills do you need? Are you currently skillful enough to go and do whatever it is you want to? What kit do you need? Do you have it currently? Do you need to buy it, rent it, lease it? Do you have a list? What time do you need? You know, there's some things that just require a couple of days to go and do. And there's other things like my 3 weeks down the Yukon that's probably going to take 4 to 5 weeks to go and do. So what time do you need? You know, is this something that could be fitted into a few days of vacation and a few public holidays combined together? Or is this resigning and having to have enough cash to survive that period of time without a job? And I suppose that links into nicely, what money do you need? Are we talking thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions? What cash do you need to make it possible? Now, if you don't know the answer to any of those questions yet, like what skills do you need, what kit do you need, what time do you need, and what cash do you need, maybe go work through that list and start writing down very, very exact things for yourself about those things. And then the last thing is, who do you need and who do you want to go with? Now, those are two very different peoples. Like, I want to go somewhere, but actually I need to have a guide. I need to have somebody more competent than I am. And I go on trips with people 3 or 4 times a year, a group of friends who need somebody more competent and more experienced and more able than themselves to look after their safety. So they invite me along. But maybe I don't have to go. Like hundreds of thousands, millions of people go and have bucket list trips every year without a guide. So maybe that's you. You know, climbing Everest is possible without a guide, but it gets a lot easier with a guide. With a guide, you need to have a lower skill level often than if you go and do it yourself. Whereas if you go and do it yourself with you and your mates, you often need to have the skill of a qualified guide. There is no right or wrong answer, really. But who is it that you need to have with you? And who is it that you want to have with you? And importantly, who is it you don't want to have with you? And so go and write that down as well, and then start having conversations with those people. But now, of course, we can have conversations with those people with some facts and figures. You know, I'd really like you to come and do this with me, but it's going to cost this much money and take this much time. Perfect. They can now make an educated decision. And then the last part of all of this is the how. How are you going to go and get yourself from where you are now to where you want to be in terms of your competence and skill levels? How are you going to go and buy or rent or get hold of all of that kit that you need? How are you going to make the time possible? And then how are you going to go and make the money side of things possible? Like, do you need to go and get a part-time job, a second job for 6 months? And that's going to be the way of funding it. Do you need to save? Do you need to clear some debts? I don't know the answers to your question specifically, but we have to start thinking then practically the hows. How do we have those conversations with the people we need to have? And how do we negotiate with a guide if we need a guide? All of those are critical questions. But what you find is when you start writing these down and start putting them into smaller chunks, actually it becomes very, very, very possible. I've already got my bucket list item, as long as coronavirus passes and we're allowed to travel again, of canoeing down the Yukon in 2021. It's already happening. I already know who I'm going to hire the kit from, who's going to come with me, how much it's going to cost, how much time I'm going to need, how I'm going to fly from where I live to Whitehorse in the Yukon Territories to start the trip. I'm equally getting much closer to my homestead. I've identified the property. I've had a conversation with the owner. I've had a conversation with my bank manager and my business partner. It's all happening. It's getting closer. Because I've taken a bucket list one day and turned it into the exact specific facts, figures, and written it down of what it is I need to achieve. So if you're interested in getting more support and having conversations with me personally about how you can go and achieve your bucket list adventures, be it a half day, a day, many weeks, many months, or even many years, go sign up for the program below. I'll enjoy taking you through and working with you and a small number of others specifically in a few weeks' time. And I'll happily give you my time completely free of charge with no sales pitch, no upsell, no downsell, no nothing. I look forward to seeing you when I get a chance to talk with you in person. Stay amazing. And let's bring back the adventure for everybody, shall we? If this has been any use to you in the slightest, maybe it's just a nudge in the right direction. Please go and comment beneath. Please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell. And why not give this episode a big fat share and tell other people what it is that you are going to commit to achieving your bucket list items sooner rather than later. My name's Rob Yates, and you are amazing.